Each one of these bowls is unique, okay? These bowls get very hot, so always be very careful, okay? And we have 2 grams of Tangy hash, okay? We're just gonna pour them right into our bowl, okay? It comes with a pestle.
Okay.
All we wanna do is just flatten this down, okay? It's flat, easy. Instruction booklet will tell you we're going to use 1 tablespoon, in our case 1 pump, of vegetable glycerin, okay? It goes right inside here. And we are going to turn this on. We're going to go to medium low, and we're going to let that sit for about 14 minutes. Okay? So, now, how easy was that to get ready compared to trying to make butter?
Oh my goodness. Making the butter is such a long process. Because I don't want to decarboxylate it before I put it into the oven, I hand grind it all instead of like using a coffee grinder or something. That, if I'm making a lot of it, is a long process. Then decarboxylating it in the oven smells and takes, and you never really know if you're doing it right because all these different websites will have different temperatures and different times to keep it in there. So you go to 10 different sites, you'll get 10 different suggestions.
The 2 worst parts when I started trying to play to make edibles myself, right? The scariest part for me was I went out, I spent all this money on cannabis where I grew this beautiful plant, right? And then you wanted me to stick it in the oven, right? I always knew I was either going to burn my cannabis up, right, or I wasn't doing that part, right? And my whole house started to smell.
Oh, okay, yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then, once I'm finally done, I've gotten it out of the oven. I put it into my crock pot. I've used butter, which you're vegan, so you don't want to be using butter.
Right.
And then I have to strain it.
Yes.
So
forever.
You either buy cheesecloth or you buy a silicone strainer, right?
Yep.
And you never get all the THC out.
Never.
But you have all that bitterness from the plant.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So this has started, and if you notice, what do you smell?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, because you can usually smell it outside of my house, even coming up when I've been making it at home.
Well, that's
so
one of the biggest
great.
questions we get is there any odor? And there is no odor, and you don't have to strain this when you're done. Okay?
So cool.
So what I thought we could do is we already have 1 pizza dough ready to go. Okay? We used prepared dough. You could also use a box mix if you're trying to make a pizza dough. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can also make pizza dough from scratch. But for most of us, we'd love to, but I don't ever find the time.
Right.
Okay. So I thought we'd also make a vegetarian pizza for people at home that maybe would like to work their way into being a vegan or just enjoy something a little bit healthier.
Oh, yeah.
So what I have here is I have 1/3 of a cup of pizza sauce. Okay. Just jarred pizza sauce. And we already have 2 grams of Tangy already made up. So remember what the hash looked like when we started? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is what it looks like now. Okay. So what we've done, see, isn't that better than all that green butter that you normally get?
Yes.
When you've made canna butter?
You can scrape it off the top, and then you don't it's like you don't always get all of it. You can't. It's impossible to get all of it.
So all we've done is allow all the THC glands to explode inside that glycerin to activate, okay? And they've just turned into a paste. And we're just going to put this right into the sauce, okay? So it's really that easy and a little sad that we're going to grab that little bit right out there, okay? I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of garlic into here. I always like garlic.
I love garlic. And the tomatoes. Tomato sauce. This is what I was wondering is about the process, since it's in the glycerin, what you were going to do with it. And now I understand you're putting it into the sauce.
Right
it's
into the
already like
sauce. And now you look at this and you think, oh, that kind of looks weird. But watch how this doesn't discolor. You can't add canna butter to pizza sauce. Okay? There's just no way. And watch how the citric acid in the tomatoes just takes this right in, and look, it looks just like the pizza sauce that we started with again. Okay?
It smells
Everything's
delicious.
right inside.
Garlic.
So what we'll do is we'll set this aside for 1 minute. And I like to grill my vegetables if I'm going to make a vegan pizza. Okay?
So good, yeah.
One thing that people will tell you, I don't mind not having the meat, but I miss that little bit of a greasy taste.
Right.
Right?
I understand.
So we have just a few minutes left on this. So why don't we go ahead and just toss some vegetables onto here.
I'm gonna back up.
And I like to just do it really quick and hot. And we'll add just a little bit of olive oil. Okay.
Well, I love cooking and being in the kitchen, but this is the first time I've had a vegan pizza with the vegetables grilled, so I'm even more excited to be here.
Oh, good. So while that's heating up, we're going to make a pesto base for the vegan pizza. All right. So we have 2 cups of hand-picked basil. What I mean by hand-picked is that we wash these first. We simply just want to get in and take the bitter stems off. Make it really simple to use. And then we can save some of the extras for topping the pizza as well. So we're going to go ahead and just get this into here. This pesto part, okay, sounds so difficult, right? It's like, oh my God, there's no way you expect me to be making pesto. I live in a small apartment, or I'm in a college dorm. Well, you can also use a blender, but we're going to use a food processor, okay?
It's great because I love pesto.
Okay. Our pine nuts,
Nice.
sea salt, about a teaspoon worth. I like to use true sea salt. Okay.
Yes, me too.
It gives you just a little bit of texture inside the pesto. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this going. Okay. Sunday,
Yes.
have you made pesto at home
You know
before?
what? I haven't. I'm so happy that you're doing this because I've been wanting to make my own pesto at home. I know you have to run the food processor, so go ahead.
So, So because I'm infusing it, I haven't added in my oil yet, okay? Because as we know, THC loves fat.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
So this has been going. Let's just check this out and see what this looks like. We have about 4 more minutes or so to go on this. It's kind of difficult to show you,
That's okay.
but it's you can see this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's starting to look like what we put here in the tomato sauce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is heating up, right?
Yep.
We'll have that, and we can go ahead and let's put our sauce on here. All right.
Put it on top of it. Oh, get rid of that.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll have this ready to go by the time we are done with our second pizza.
What's really nice about this, what I'm thinking right now is that, I medicate with indica at night to get to sleep. Like that's my sleeping agent. I won't be sleeping if I don't eat some edible indica, but I don't always want to eat cookies or chocolates, you know, things that those types. So this is really nice that you can infuse it into, I think, almost everything.
Yes. And see, you can do what we did, is you can make the infusion process in advance. Okay?
Yes.
So you can plan on making different things. I just put it into a small bowl when I'm done. And let's add in, we have some mushrooms.
And will it just keep in the refrigerator for how long you think, or in the freezer? Freezer probably indefinitely, right?
Indefinitely, well,
within reason, maybe 50 years it wouldn't be as good as it is today, but how long would it stay in the refrigerator? Like,
there's no reason you couldn't keep it in the refrigerator for 6 weeks, I would say.
That's
in
awesome.
the refrigerator.
You can get it done and then not worry about it for a while. It's nice.
And you can freeze the edibles, almost anything that you make.
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
We have people. We had a guest last week who actually, I would never freeze cheesecake, but she freezes the cheesecake.
Yes.
Okay, so you can use it almost any way you want. Well, for example, you can make ice cream with this. Okay. Which is something that would be very difficult to make with peanut butter.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We made strawberry jam to go on top of the cheesecake. We infused the strawberry jam. You can't do that with butter.
No, it would not turn out well, I think.
So that's the nice part about using the hash, and that's also one of the biggest things that we hear about is where do I find hash, or what's good hash, or how do I make my own hash, or I grow and I don't know where to get it, or how to make it. So next week, I'm going to sit down with Matt, who is our hash maker, and we're just going to talk about hash.
I'm excited about that too.
Because most people just like making the pesto, right? They're intimidated by little things.
Yes,
They're intimidated by making the hash. Even you yourself,
I'm very
you
tentative.
could make dry ice hash.
Oh,
I mean, it is just that quick and that easy.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. Because I've been wondering that as well.
Now, we're infusing food with cannabis, and what is the only thing that you smell right here in the kitchen?
The delicious vegetables being grilled.
Exactly.
And the garlic here.
Exactly.
But no, I don't smell any of
The cannabis
THC at all. Yeah, not like my house, which it really will smell outside.
So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, and I'm going to make just a little bit of room. And I am going to bring this right over here and set this down and take it off. Okay. So, while you and I someday let these vegetables just grill up a little bit, just a little bit of tenderize them just a little tiny bit. We'll just decide what we want to throw on each pizza. Okay?
Oh my God.
So,
oh, it looks and smells delicious.
what we've done is, in the time that we started, we've taken 2 grams of a sativa hash, a cold water hash, and we have prepared them to go into our pesto. Okay. This.
The one we just made.
See.
It still doesn't have any odor.
No odor. It looks wonderful. Although you can see how it has just turned into a nice oil for you. And we're going to pour it right into here. This quick, that simple. Cindy, if I give you the spatula, would you mind turning the vegetables a little bit? Be careful with the heat. Okay? I'll hold this. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Always look so good.
So now we're going to add our oil to the pesto. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons or so. And all the same time. There you go. Check our pesto.
Smells good.
You guys have been following us. As you know, we have new lights, how we have new shirts. Okay, we're trying to get a little bit more involved in how we do this to work with you as you receive your herb cookers starting April 1st. So you get an idea of the things that we're going to make, so we can tell you in advance, and together we can try to start making all these different things like you and I are doing together. We will want to make it with the people that have an herb cooker. You know,
Yes.
we want to do this together as a family.
Yes.
Now, this is what we've done. Okay.
Should I switch out these pizza? Oh.
Now, how does that look? Does that look like it has can of butter in it? It doesn't. It's not dripping. It smells. How's this?
Smells
Okay.
delicious.
So let's get this together. So one thing, I always use cornmeal to ensure that my dough doesn't stick to my pizza pan.
I did not know that. That's a good tip.
And there we go. Okay, it's that easy. Okay, and our pizza dough isn't going to stick to our pan.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Oh yeah.
In regards to the glycerin, would you be able to just use like an olive oil or another type of oil
Not
as
to-
opposed to the vegetable?
Not in the herb cooker
Okay.
to activate your THC.
Okay.
Okay, this stoneware. Okay, see this is still it's still almost too hot to touch.
Okay.
Okay, it gets to such a high temperature that you're going to burn the oil, and you're
Right
going to
on.
ruin your
Yeah.
wonderful hash
Right.
that you've either made by hand or gone out and spent your hard-earned money on. Okay.
So it's usually 14 minutes with the glycerin in the thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
you know,
Awesome.
some electric stovetops
Oh,
take
yeah.
just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll see it. You'll understand it right away. You'll see when the dryness is completely gone. All the oils have just kind of matured
Okay.
inside.
That's a good way to tell. All right.
So we used 1/3 of a cup of pizza sauce there, and I'm just going to measure out enough of this to.
You got this. You can eyeball it. That's what I do as well. So, about the glycerin, the vegetable glycerin that you have here, that seems like it might be something that's difficult to find. I did read that you guys provide some in your package on your website. Could we
You can
buy
reorder
more, reorder
You can
refills? Okay.
right
okay.
at theherbcooker.com.
Okay.
We'll have it available for immediate shipment.
Okay, great. That's good to know.
And we're offering it very price competitive because we know from experience that it's very difficult to find vegetable glycerin.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right. Yeah.
So how we
It
doing?
looks beautiful. It's perfect.
Is all look good?
Oh, it looks
Show you a little bit
Amazing.
over here. Come up
So-
on the side just a little bit. Okay.
I'm sorry, but I am full of questions.
Oh,
I
no,
hope you
ask.
don't mind.
Ask.
I had a kind of a crazy thought. What if you, let's say, you wanted to medicate before bed, but you weren't hungry, you wanted to take like an indica and you made it with your hash, and is it possible to just like put it in a capsule form and eat it? Like if
You
you
can.
didn't want to cook or whatever? It's something you could do that as well. Okay,
Oh,
that's good
very
to
easy.
know. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
very easy
Like,
to do.
of course, it would cool down, I would imagine, and then you would transfer it to a glycerin or whatever capsules, vegan capsule.
Oh yes, yes you could. Okay, so we have some sliced tomato.
Mm.
Okay.
This is gonna be really good.
And I love tomato on pizza.
I do too. I did watch the very first live feed, and you talked a little bit about microdosing, and so is it just as like it sounds? Like you just have a little bit less, or can you just tell me more about that?
It's all about milligrams of THC.
Right.
Okay. For most people, you don't need a ton.
100, yeah.
I mean, 18 milligrams of THC for many people, it's very easy for them to manage. And you can make large infusions and make a ton of items. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Snickerdoodles always seem to be a popular item for people. I know for you it's a little bit more difficult, but
no,
I do.
I make vegan snickerdoodles.
But I was going to tell you, I do have a recipe for vegan snickerdoodles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
And
admit to regular butter.
for someone that wants to microdose, right? 1 gram of hash, even, okay, it's just going to give them maybe 7 milligrams of THC, but that's enough.
Yes. Yeah.
For most people.
Right.
For people that are trying to manage anxiety or their blood pressure, right? It's a quick and easy way. One thing to be very careful about is that when you inhale, it hits you instantly, okay? But with edibles, it takes a good 20 minutes before you can start to feel the effects.
And I like that. I like that better. That kind of creeping up on you feeling like you just feel happy and better and out of pain and less anxiety and
For me, it's a little switch in the head.
yeah.
All of a sudden, it just turns on. You feel it, you know it, and it's like, oh, I feel amazing all of a sudden.
Yes, it feels so much better.
And I like that way.
And no pharmaceutical side effects, as well.
And this caters to any diet, okay? It doesn't matter. And you do not have to adjust a recipe. With our infusion process using the herb cooker, instead of, oh no, how much butter am I supposed to use? Oh no, I'm vegan, I can't use butter.
Right.
To just going, oh, I add this into, and I like to add it into the fat.
Yes.
Okay? And even being vegan, there's still fat.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Vegan. French fries are vegan.
So, what we'll do, and you have,
Did bring up. I don't know if I want to show that.
you brought some vegan Parmesan cheese. So, I thought we would add these to our pizzas.
This looks beautiful.
So, this smells just like real cheese.
I know. It's so similar.
The texture is just like real cheese.
Yeah, I usually would get a block of Parmesan and grate it myself. That's exactly what it looks like.
And for the other pizza, I'm not going to put any cheese on it, but I'm going to put just a few of the basil leaves.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that'll be delicious.
Because one thing that I like about basil out of the oven is that it gives you that meaty texture, right? So you've been baking for a long time and cooking. What is your favorite infused food?
Well, I'm so excited about this pizza because I am so tired of eating baked goods. But I do love snickerdoodles and would probably made those the most probably for myself.
But don't you make things like lasagna?
Not with the butter I was making, no. But I could with this, which is awesome and amazing. But yeah, with the butter, it was just mostly, goodies, baked goods, cookies. And I don't always want to have that before I go to bed, or I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier.
I haven't found anything that I can't infuse.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Right. So, We had the oven preheated at 425 degrees, and we are going to put these in for 9 minutes, and then I'm going to swap them out bottom
Want to put a timer
to
on?
top. Okay.
Oh, you have
So,
a timer. Perfect. Yeah, this is exciting because I was getting very tired of eating just sweets, and it's I don't want to say this would work for absolutely everybody, but for me and for a lot of people that I know, everybody I've talked to, but I just have to say it doesn't always help for everyone. But eating the edibles has gotten me off of my painkiller medication that I had taken for years and years and years, and that was a difficult thing to do, a huge accomplishment. I'm so happy to have found something else besides those painkillers and the side effects from them. Also, I don't take an anti-anxiety medication anymore. I don't take a muscle spasm for my spasms anymore. I was in a car accident 24 years ago, and so I've had a lot of pain since then, especially in my back. I broke my back. I broke everything.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm very, very, very happy to have. I'd much rather have the infused hash and eating it than taking any of those pharmaceuticals. They all had side effects, and I just want to do things a little bit more natural.
Oh, and it helps.
And it helps immensely. All those medications I don't take anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the nice thing about this process is it's all natural. You don't have to use butane.
That's
Okay.
another thing that it was a concern of mine. When extracts first came out, it's like, how is this being done through alcohol or butane? It just doesn't seem like it's healthy at all. You know what I mean?
No, oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And I like to get the flavors, the terpenes that come out, right? That I watch these shows and they'll show you this beautiful bud that they went out and it was $60 and it's some exotic thing, and then we're going to stick it in alcohol for 10 minutes and then we're gonna burn this off. And it's like, why are you doing these things to the plant when you can be using the herb cooker, right?
Right.
You saw how quick. There's no smell.
No smell.
We already have our pizza in. It's not like we decided to come along and say, let's make something and have to wait till tomorrow to make it.
Right. And wait till tomorrow if you're lucky. Usually it's a longer than 24-hour process. Just, the decarboxylation, and then you boil it on top of the stove for at least 3 hours minimum. And then, like you said, you can squeeze that cheesecloth or do what you want. You're never going to get all of the THC out. So this is perfect. It's just THC going in, this cooker, then right into your food. You're not losing out on anything.
Right, less than 20 minutes.
And
It's
awesome.
that easy. If you have, so the big question until we talk about hash, where to get it, how to make it, is this. If you have access to cannabis of any kind, okay, then you have access to hash. We're going to make it that simple for people.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
Yes, there are processes. Matt, he's an artisan hash maker. That's all he does is discovers better ways to make the best hash. Right.
It's kind of like me in the kitchen.
it can be involved. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he also has a process that almost anybody could do. And so that's going to be on March 21st. We're going to talk about all things hash.
Awesome.
Right? And we're getting close. We have a few minutes. We'll turn these pizzas. And do you smell anything?
Not just delicious smelling pizza, but no, not from the THC at all, which, normally I'd want to leave the room.
That's another thing that scares people. You know what I mean?
Yes. You could do this in an apartment complex, that is like a no smoking, like have I know people who moved into an apartment complex and it's like absolutely nothing. So, you know, they want to use edibles, you know, but they would never be able to make the butter, but they could utilize
college
this.
kids. Our first episode, we had Don, and he's in a dorm, so he has access to a little burner, but that's it, right? And with this, it's so simple because in 14 minutes or so, he can make anything from Rice Krispies to ranch dressing to Cinco de Mayo's coming up, so we're going to be infusing guacamole and salsa and showing everybody how easy that is.
Awesome.
Okay? So it's unlimited what you can do with the herb cooker that you can't do with anything else.
Yeah, and actually the people that are talking about in the apartment complex are actually senior citizens. They want to eat the THC. They want to do things more natural as well. They're trying to get off of their medications. So it's not just, college kids, which of course you can't stink up your dorm room, but even seniors.
Another perfect example is Judith wants to know if you can use CBD, okay? And CBD is huge right now, okay?
Yes.
And yes, if you have access to CBD plant material of any kind, then we are going to have an episode on how to do that, because it's still using the herb cooker, but there is a different process on how to make the hash and how to use the herb cooker to infuse it. So we are going to address that. But if you have access to CBD plant material as well, just like if you have access to cannabis, then you can use the herb cooker, because that's the biggest question we get. Florida is another reason why we want to talk about all things hash on the 21st, is because it's huge. Because you were just talking about seniors, right? And they get the biggest benefit. If they can get off some blood pressure medicine. Now remember, we're not doctors.
Right.
We're not promising the world, and in no way can we prescribe anything for this. But we're just telling you the experience that we've had and what we've heard from other people about using this.
First-hand experience.
Now, last week we made cheesecake and I used the herb cooker to melt my butter, right? But around the house, when I'm home, I like to use the herb cooker with just a little bit of vanilla essence, oil, and usually like bay leaves, or I can use lavender. And what I'll do is I'll turn it up so the pot's just at a simmer, right, for about 20 minutes until the mixture has mixed in, right, with whatever herb, and then I just shut it off. And that water has been boiling, right? So, and you felt how that stoneware pot was so hot, it'll just let that flow through the house for a good hour afterwards.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's
So
nice.
just another easy way that you can use the herb cooker besides cannabis. Okay. And we have a non-cannabis use episode coming soon. As you know, we're new. We're trying everything. Everybody's growing with us. Let's turn the pizzas and see how they look.
All right,
Okay.
let's check it out.
I'm excited. I love medicated pizza. Well, I love infused food, period. Okay, as you can tell.
Me too. I'm right there with you.
But let's see what we got. Oh, they look great.
Beautiful.
Okay. So that's halfway through.
Nice.
Turn these up. Okay. And will you tell us when 9 minutes is up or so? Okay.
A lot of people ask me about the CBD who have things like lupus, and they want to try the higher CBD plants, and I think this is the way they would rather do it, because they want to be healthy. They don't want to smoke it.
Oh, no.
So this is great to know about the CBD
No, that's something you don't want to be smoking.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, if you can eat it, you can use this to infuse it into.
Nice.
Okay, it's that simple. There's nothing you can't do. Okay. The nice thing is you can make meals if you're single, even. Okay, as a senior maybe, or a college student or anybody. Maybe it's just you at home that eats food that's
Right.
infused and everybody else doesn't, right?
Right.
Make a meatloaf,
Yeah.
right? Freeze the other portions of it, and you have infused meatloaf coming up in the
Right.
future, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can't put this into.
That's great.
I try to keep the temperature below 450 degrees when I'm making any kind of food, right? But it doesn't matter what you want to make. You can make bread, which we're going to have a complete episode about.
And I'm gonna watch that because I make bread all the time. I'm so excited about this, about everything you're doing.
I'm going to tell you, there is nothing better than making 4 or 5 loaves of infused bread, right? And then while the bread's cooking, infusing raspberry jam, for example, right?
Oh, man.
So I have the whole thing done, okay? We just had someone ask, I'm a little older and I don't know if I can make hash. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're a little older and your question is, I know I'm laughing, but if your question is, how do I get hash? Ask your grandkids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
They'll be able to come over. All right. When we have all things hash, we're going to get a couple videos up. Bear with us. We'll improve on our videos as we get better. One thing that will help us to get better is by helping you. So if you go to theherbcooker.com and you pick up one of the herb cookers, right? But if your question is, where do I get hash? Then you're on the right track to finding somebody that can watch one of our episodes and go, oh, for just a few bucks, right?
Right.
I can make you hash. And you think of it like this, we'll talk about it, but even just an ounce of trim can get you about 5 to 7 grams of a decent hash to use inside the herb cooker. So you can really keep it affordable. With every herb cooker kit that starts rolling out on April 1st, there is going to be a recipe and instruction booklet included.
Nice.
And as we move along, once we are over our herb cooker launch, we're going to be introducing different cookbooks for different topics. Okay.
You need some vegan recipes.
Yes.
I'm your lady.
There's so many different things that you can infuse, and you don't have to be afraid of them.
Right.
Okay. Which most people aren't aware of. And if we can hit different ways for everyone, everybody has their favorite food, right? Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if you could come home at the end of a long day, right?
Right.
And just eat a small piece of whatever your favorite thing is, and know that in about 20 minutes you're going to start to feel better.
Yes.
We hear from seniors all the time, right? We have so many people like you that are tired of all the opioids that you have to try to take to maintain.
Right. And you just have to keep taking more and more and more. So this is another reason why this is much better.
It smells good.
Yeah, it smells great.
It doesn't smell bad.
It doesn't smell bad at all. It doesn't smell anything but the cooking pizza.
So how long have you been using cannabis?
It's been about 2 years. That's when I kind of started my journey of getting off of all those other medications. And I just slowly weaned myself off of all of them. And this is just all I do now. So I like a sativa during the day and an indica at night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
The better that you can feel. And you don't like to inhale. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, it hurts my throat too much. I don't know why. I don't know if it had something to do with a car accident, if because I punctured my lungs, or I don't know. I used to even smoke cigarettes, but I just can't smoke anything. You know, it just hurts too badly. So I thought, why am I doing this? So then I started making the edibles. But this process is so much faster and easier and healthier.
And you know, with this process going into the food, not only can you make this anywhere, right? But you can take whatever you've made anywhere.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, edibles are socially acceptable in any situation, right?
Right.
Number one. Number two, if it's just you, right? It can be Sunday's special cookie, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that are
yes.
just for you. But, you know, we've heard the phrase grandma's cookie, which kind of cracks me up, right? We have, we've heard from a lot of Alzheimer's patients where the edibles really help to keep them calm, right? Because, so it's really nice to know that you have something, you know what I mean, that can help people like that.
Absolutely.
Every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, years ago, I know of someone that had Alzheimer's, and he had snuck in and eaten the entire bag of cookies.
I'm sorry for laughing.
Oh, I felt so bad. Oh.
That would be
So one
interesting.
thing we always encourage everyone, okay, especially if you're older and you're making edibles, keep them away from your pets, keep them away from the kids, put them in a special place, right? It's really easy. Just mark them up, right?
Well, I like to bake anyway. I love being in the kitchen all the time. And so when I do make bread for friends or banana bread or cookies, everybody has to say, is this special, or can I just eat this? And so I just let them know.
They're just about done. How are we doing on time for them?
2 more minutes.
Okay. You know, another thing is people probably always ask you is how strong are these, right?
Right. Yes.
And what the heck do you say to them, because you've made butter, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
And I don't. You know,
So,
it depends. Everybody's different.
How does this look for a infused vegan cheese pizza? Right?
Delicious.
How does that smell?
Oh,
Okay.
it just smells like delicious pizza. No odor from the
And
the
then
hash at all.
we have a beautiful infused pesto pizza. Okay. Look at that. Who would want to turn something like this down? Right? It was that quick, that simple. How long have we been on? 45 minutes, right? And if we hadn't talked so much, we would have probably had this done sooner,
I
right?
could talk to you all day. I'm having the best time.
But it's just that quick and that easy, right? And there we go.
It's awesome.
So tomorrow, I'm going to be down at 150 in Pacifica tomorrow from 2 to 6 p.m. They're at 446 Old Country Road in Pacifica. We're going to be showing people the herb cooker. We have new posters. We have new flyers to hand out. So come on down, talk to us about the herb cooker there. I really appreciate everybody joining us today, Sunday.
Thank you.
You're so awesome. I really appreciate it. I love you dearly.
Oh, you're sweet. I love you too. This was fun. This was very informative. I appreciate it.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hey, I'm serious. Pick up your very own herb cooker. Okay, they're really good. It works. It's at theherbcooker.com. And remember, taste matters.
And I'm gonna go get one and hope I win the 420 giveaway that you guys have, or the 420
The raffle.
raffle. Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Action. Hey, thanks for watching our video. Please don't forget to comment and leave a like. If you enjoy what we're trying to do here at the Herb Cooker, subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up to date on all of our adventures here at the Herb Cooker, so you too can make edibles like a pro. And don't forget, taste matters.